Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sandra and this is going to be my October TBR game and I'm super excited. Also, things are about to get crazy. If I thought September was crazy, this is going to be much more interesting. I'm not doing 2 readathons on top of reading a classic and my own TBR, but I am doing a lot. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, I would like to share the books that I succeeded in reading in the month of September. I read a ton more than this, but I did not finish any other books besides these and an ebook. I read Every Heart a Doorway, as well as Revolutionary Women from Colonist to Suffragist, Good Morning, Good Life, Rewriting Your Broken Story. I finally finished it. 100 Best Loved Poems. I Am Malala. Also finally finished that one. And How Did I Get Here? Also, finally read Good Morning, Good Life, and I loved it. I'm definitely going to go back to it and enjoy it all over again, but I did finish it as part of Magical Readathon. For Magical Readathon, the only books that I finished were these two, and for Bookopolis-thon, the only book that I completely finished was I Am Malala, and I was working on some others. Now, let me go ahead and get into the slight change for this month. In the past, whenever I would not successfully complete a TBR, I would just take all of the books off my TBR, put them back in here, and play the game again as if I didn't have all these other unfinished books. In order to stop putting the same books on my TBR over and over and over again, I am starting to roll over books that I did not finish in the previous month into the next month. So we have a whole shelf up here of books that have yet to be finished. Some of them have yet to be read. It would probably be best to just go ahead and go over that, and then we'll get into devotions and then the game. Starters, if you saw my wrap up, you know I'm not far from finishing The Brothers Karamazov. I did not finish it in September. The live show for the next classic that I'm going to be reading is not until October 7th, so I have the next week to read the 240-ish pages that I have left in this, but I decided to stop focusing on this so that I could enjoy some of my other TBR reads, which is how I got to finish as much as I did, because the vast majority of September I was focused on this and didn't get as much into the readathons and TBRs until the end. So we have this rolling over into October. 2 books rolling over from my September TBR, from my TBR game, are Fighting for Life and The Most Beautiful Disaster. I do not have much to go in either of these. This one reads really quickly, and then this one I have less than 100 pages, so I should be able to finish those pretty fast. However, they are technically rolling over into October. As Rival to the Queen, which I have not gotten to finish. I've read a decent portion of it, but barely started it. There's like 50-something chapters in here. So this is rolling over into October. And I did address this in the wrap-up, but any of these books that are rolling over, I have this month, next month, and the month after that to finish them. And if I do not finish them in the 3rd month, I have to unhaul them. So that's the big thing about this rolling over business. I have to read these within the next 3 months. So by the end of the year, essentially. So I do not want to have to unhaul them. So gotta get that done. Circle Maker, I'm really enjoying this. I'm about halfway through, but I did not have enough time to finish it and instead chose to focus on finishing Good Morning, Good Life for my Magical Readathon prompt, because I had to finish 2 and I was really cutting it close, but this will be rolling over into October as well. Now, there are several books that I had chosen for Magical Readathon, including the character prompts. Those I am not rolling over because they do not have to be read until April. I just need to somewhere put them on my TBR. But since I had these officially on my Magical Readathon TBR, I am rolling these over, so I have 3 months to finish these. And let me just tell you, I am not unhauling this one, and I am not unhauling this one, so they better get read in the next 3 months. The middle 2 are fine, but I do want to read them, but these are rolling over into October. Let me quickly go through each of them. This is The Harbinger by Jonathan Cahn. Democracy and the Renewal of Public Education by Richard John Newhouse, The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer, and of course our fave, Glorious Appearing by Tim LaHaye. So as you can tell, we have quite a TBR already. That does not include the Russian classic that I will be reading starting in October and continuing in November, along with Christy Lewis's channel, and I think some other people, I mean obviously some other people are participating with her in live shows, reading through Anna Karenina. I have read half of this a few years ago when I went to Russia. I brought this with me and read part of it on a train and on the plane and all that good stuff. The first half will be a refresher, but I have not finished it, so I'm looking forward to getting through the whole book, and my particular copy is so floppy and I love it. Love this one so much. Can't wait to read it. So we don't have much room for the 9 prompts that I will be choosing, plus the 4 middle grades. Got a lot to do here. Now we will move on to the devotions that I'm focusing on. Most of them are the same except for one of them. Kids Ministry That Nourishes, I will be continuing, and now that I am back to serving every week, I will probably get through this much quicker, maybe the next 2 months, probably. I think that's about right. I am reading through the 40 Days for Life devotional, which basically just has an excerpt including a story that's happened in the 40 Days for Life campaign over the years. Then at the end, there's usually a Bible verse or passage and a prayer. Then I'm almost certain I'm going to read the October excerpts of Simple Abundance, a daybook of comfort and joy. I really enjoyed reading the September excerpts from this last month, and I just wanted to continue. It has the cutest thing ever. I'll show you the September one. Every month has a list of ideas of fun activities that you can do that are seasonal to that month. So best bet, I really want to try some of the October ones, and I'm looking forward to this. My Fixing My Eyes on Jesus devotional. We are officially to the October portion, and all I have left is October, November, and December, and I can't believe how well I've done at reading this, honestly. I've kept with it all year long, so I'm pretty impressed with myself because I very rarely ever keep up with a year-long devotional. Let's all remember the Holiness devotional that took me like 2.5 years to read. Are we ready for the TBR game? You may notice that there's something missing if you saw my September TBR game. I still need to read 2 middle grades from my library that I have not even gone to get. So I need to do that today, actually. I need to get 2 middle grades, and then getting into our official game, I need to get 2 more middle grades because I rated Creative Courage. If you remember that book from my September TBR, I gave that 2 stars and I DNF'd it. I rate it for the purpose of the game, but I do not rate it on Goodreads if I DNF it. I was just really bored with it. I feel like it probably got better, but I didn't have time to give it that chance, and I just wanted to move on to something else. So I switched Creative Courage for Every Heart a Doorway. Wasn't too thrilled with Every Heart a Doorway, but it was better than Creative Courage. Anyway, so I need to have 4 middle grades from the library, so I need to go get those, and I will insert them here. Alright, I am back from the library, and I got quite a stack while I was there. I did fulfill the buy a book space on my book bingo, but what I borrowed was all of this. This is meant to be Nimona? I don't know. It's meant to be my spooky vibes graphic novel. I've literally never read a graphic novel in my life. This one looked okay. I hope it's going to be good. I'm a little bit iffy about it, but I'm going to try it out and fulfill that spot on my bingo board. So this is what I picked out. This is about a sidekick and a supervillain about to wreak havoc. So I got Nettie and Nellie Crook Orphan Train Sisters. This was the next middle grade for me to read, so I got it. It's pretty short, so I'm looking forward to that. So these are historical fiction middle grade books with pictures and really short chapters based on people who actually lived. So that sounds cool. I didn't even realize that's what that was about. Looking forward to that. I literally pulled this off the shelf, didn't even read what it's about. This kid gets a vest and it has everything. Apparently he's into paleontology and really excited about this vest. Okay. Next, I got The Library of Ever, and I feel like I've heard of this, and I'm not 100% sure. I'll just read this. With her parents off traveling the globe, Lenora is bored until she discovers a secret doorway into the ultimate library. I'm here for it already. I'm sure I've heard of this. I feel like I have, and now I get to read it. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. Maze-like in reality bending, the marvelous library contains all the universe's wisdom on its endless shelves. Lenora becomes its newly appointed 4th assistant apprentice librarian. She rockets to the stars, travels to a future filled with robots, and faces down a dark nothingness that wants to destroy all knowledge. To save the library, she'll have to test her limits and uncover secrets hidden among the library's shelves. I think I'm going to enjoy this. This sounds just like the kind of book that I like. Next one is to fulfill the spooky middle grade prompt on my book bingo space, and this is called Out to Get You. And it looked spooky, so I picked it up. If I get scared of this, I won't finish it. But it is a kid's book, so it shouldn't be too terrifying. And lastly, I just literally pulled this off the shelf. The Road to Wherever. I don't know what this is about. So then I had 2 books that I rated 3 stars in the month of September, so I need to find my little cup container thingies. Where are they? So I will just be drawing one prompt from each of these. We'll start with this gray one that was on top. And I will just randomly select one. That feels like 4. Make sure this is just one paper. Okay. Thank the Lord. I am so glad I did this before I went to the library. I had a feeling I needed to. And I'm glad I did because middle grade from the library is my prompt. So I guess that's in addition to the ones that I was already getting. That works perfectly because I need to read a spooky middle grade for my book bingo. So I will just count that as my 5th middle grade and it will work out perfectly. Oh my goodness. My TBR game could not have been nicer to me. And then the other one, I swear I did not cheat. I didn't know that was even in there. That couldn't have worked out any better. Okay. This one, that feels like about 3. Let me shake that out. Okay. The other one is something you don't think you can finish. Isn't that a prompt on my book bingo board? It is. Read a book that you didn't expect to get through this month. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll just add something that I don't think I'm going to get to this month. Oh, very tempted to put Meaning of Marriage. Not that I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. I just don't know that I am in the mood to read this. And not sure that I would get to it. But I think I'm going to select this for that because I don't think I'm going to get to it this month. But if I did, that would be pretty awesome. So in September, I rated 3 books 4 stars. So I get to play the Trouble game, play the Trouble dice 3 times. It gets a little confusing over here, but we're good. What I'll do is I will press it 3 times and that'll be my first roll. And I'll do that for each of the 3 books. As always, first of all, I don't have any books up on my dresser that I've not read. I have to read these based on the new rules. So a 1, 2, or 3 will be this shelf, and a 4, 5, or 6 will be the bottom shelf. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's a 4, so that means the bottom shelf. Okay, you can kind of see the bottom shelf. A lot of it is notebooks. Obviously, I can't read those. I do have, spoiler alert, my recently hauled books down here, as well as my Jane Austen collection. These are seasonal for Easter, so those do not count. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'll count this as Sense and Sensibility. And then I'll just roll the dice, and whichever one it lands on is what I will read. Ready? 6. Sense and Sensibility it is. Obviously, I don't have to read the whole thing, but I will need to continue. You can see where it is. So I left off on chapter 20, and I have quite a ways to go. But after reading my Literary Lovers box set collection that I got for my birthday, I have a better understanding of what's going on in Sense and Sensibility, so I think I'll enjoy it more. I hope I'll enjoy it more. I am pretty excited about this thus far. I hope it goes well for me. Book number 2 of our 4-star rewards. A 1. If I can show you, there you go. Okay, so a 1 is this shelf, meaning that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, there are 16 books on this shelf. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to count this as a 6. If I happen to land on a 6, then I'll read this. But for the others, what I'll do is if I get a 1, I will roll the dice again for these 3. If I get a 2, I'll roll the dice again for these 3. A 3 for these 3. A 4 for these 3, and a 5 for those 3. So let's see what happens. We got this. A 1, okay. I will be rolling again to choose between 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Entrepreneur's Side Hustle Handbook, and Grit. All of these I really want to read, but they're so different. Let's see what we end up with. 1 or 2 will be 7 Habits. 3 or 4 will be the handbook, and then 5 or 6 will be Grit. 3. Okay, so Side Hustle Handbook, Entrepreneur's Side Hustle Handbook it is, and that's going on my TBR. Okay, and then for the 3rd roll from my 4-star rewards. A 3. So that means this shelf again. Now that we're down to 15, well, for these first 5, if I land on a 1 or a 2, I'll choose between these first 5. If I land on a 3 or 4, I'll choose between these 5. And then if I land on a 5 or 6, I'll roll again and choose between these 5. So let's find out which one we're going for. A 2. Okay, so it's going to be one of these 5, either 7 Habits, Grit, The Great Gatsby, Blackout, or Opportunity Knocks. So let's find out which it's going to be. Should I do what I did the other month? I'm not going to do that because I have so much to read this month. There's no way I would get through everything. If I land on a 6, I get to choose which one I want. Okay? 3. Okay, I don't get to choose, but I do need to read The Great Gatsby, but it's nice and small, so I'm happy with that. And I'm curious because I feel like that's one of those books that everybody should read, and I've never read it, so Great Gatsby is going on the TBR. We're done with trouble. Let's go ahead and get out my 5-star predictions or books that I really want to read heart in. I know so many in here I've already read, so if I get something I've already read, I just have to throw that out and draw again. I did rate 3 books 5 stars in September, so I get to choose 3 titles out of here. So, here's the first one. That feels like 2. Okay. Love Lives Here. Okay, that's at my grandma's house. I'll have to get that. That is by Maria Goff, who is Bob Goff's wife. And I was supposed to read that book years ago. I was supposed to review it, but stuff was going on in my life that I wasn't able to do it. But now I'm going to get the chance. So, looking forward to that. Alright, the second choice is... Oh, yay! Perfect for a magical readathon. The second one was Moscow. Yay! I get to read this, hopefully. Better read it. I do not want to get rid of that. I love that book. And then the third one, I should show you guys. Live, Love, Lead by Brian Houston. So that's also at my grandma's house, and I'll have to get that as well. I'm really happy with those, and I definitely think I'm going to enjoy all of them. So that was a successful little portion of the game. So with that, I will show you what my TBR looks like without the middle grade books and without what I'm about to show you. This is what the game chose. Sense and Sensibility, the Side Hustle Handbook for Entrepreneurs. That's not the title, but you get the point. Is that The Great Gatsby? Yeah. Meaning of Marriage, Moscow, and as well as Love Lives Here and Live, Love, Lead. I'm sensing a theme here. We're getting a lot of love in here with marriage and Sense and Sensibility, and anyway. This is supposed to be spooky, and it's, well, I guess you could say it's spooky. Now I need to move the camera and show you what else I'm doing in October, because apparently I hate myself and want to make myself suffer. Not really. This was a great idea in theory, and now I'm seriously questioning it, but... Okay, a little bit of an awkward angle, but I have brought you over to my stacks of books. Fun fact, there is a stack equally as tall behind this one, and all the books over here are my supplemental school books from college and law school. Why have I decided to torture myself? I don't know. But at some point in the month, my goal is to read at least 50 pages from each of these. Is that going to happen? I'm doubting it more and more every minute, but I think that it's a great idea because I want to unhaul a lot of these, and I'm not sure which ones to get rid of. I always have the tendency to think, well, what if I want to read that specific book or need to write a paper with it or something like that? That's probably never going to happen. I already know a few of these I want to unhaul, so I may not even bother reading them, but I would like to give every book 50 pages of a chance. Then maybe if I'm not sure about it, go to 100 pages, and if I'm liking it, just keep it. I am not challenging myself to complete any of these at all, but I do want to read at least 50 pages and give them a chance. So there will be a video on that hopefully later in this month where you'll see my thoughts on all of these, and it will be very fun. But until that time comes, I have a massive stack of books to read this month, and I thought September was crazy. So that is everything. My library TBR, my owned TBR, and you saw all those school books that I want to try to go through this month. What have I done? I'm about to go get started on some of these because I obviously need to make some progress. I gave myself most of today off from reading, so I feel like I can go read something now. And that's what I need to do. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Please be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and comment below what you are looking forward to reading in October. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!